Good afternoon, race fans. Welcome here to race number 12 of the first season of the NASCAR M&M's Cup Series. We have 9 races, including today. After today, will be 8 more races left to go until we crown our first champion of this series. No interlopers, just the regular drivers that we have in the field this week. The pole position is Quentin Moore in the number 28 machine. He dropped 6 spots down to 26th position. The points still looking for his first win on the season. He is alongside of Casey Hoyt in the number 32 machine. He jumped up 4 spots to 33rd in the points. Christopher Bright in row number 2 jumped up 5 spots to 11th in the standings, and UCSL jumped up 5 spots to 27th position in the points. As you look at the rest of the starting lineup for today's race, the Zippo 200. 14 laps of racing. Here's the points coming into this race. L Bianchi is the points leader over Z Panini, our winner last week at Sonoma, as he jumped up to second in the standings. R Dorn is third in the standings, 20 points back. 26 back is Larry Hoyt in fourth. M Chilton dropped down a spot to fifth. Then it's Bushy Clements, J Bracken, Sylvia Cunningham, Emberly Marsh, and Connor Breton will complete the top 10. Let's get these cars moving as we're getting set for 14 laps of racing. Casey Hoyt's got a problem. Hold on. Looks like so far so good. They had to wave off the start so they can give Casey Hoyt his spot back. And it looks like we are good to go. Green flag racing here for 14 laps of racing. Next week we wrap up our 4 straight road course events. We ran Papyrus, we ran Sonoma, we're running Watkins Glen. Next week we're going to the beautiful Lime Rock Park. As green flag is out, we're racing here at the Glen for the M&M's Cup Series drivers. Quentin Moore leads us through the S's. That's just 41 drivers in the field. Oh, we got a wreck. Got some smoke there through the S's. I don't know who that belonged to. Must have been Casey Hoyt because he is dropping back. And it is Casey Hoyt. He's got a lot of damage to the left side of his machine. And he's going from second to like somewhere in the 30s as we're going through the inner loop for the first time. Contacted the back. Think that was Matt Gomes, and I don't know who the other one was. Oh, Sylvia Cunningham and Austin Scott in the gravel trap. No caution. We are going to remain under the green flag. Sylvia Cunningham was 8th in the points coming into this race. Austin Scott gained 3 spots to 36 in the standings. I think the caution is out. It is out. Oh, Cole Koibe's in trouble. Possibly Muhammad Zain. It looks like Zane's got some, or Harold Farkesco looks like he's got some damage to the left side of his 99. Yeah, it's all crunched up. A lot of damage to that 44, the Mackie Chevy, as Sylvia Cunningham and Austin Scott have teleported to pit road. We got a lot of replays to look at. First, let's look at the incident between the 32. Then we'll see what happened to Sylvia Cunningham and all that. And then we'll take a look at our first caution of the day here at the Glen. Okay, so this is the first incident. Looks like Jacob Foster just overdrove the corner, gets into UCSL, and just taps Casey Hoyt. And Casey's going to go into the guardrail. So there's where that puff of smoke came from. And he's got some left side damage. I bet you he's going to come to pit road to repair that, because look at all of the positions. he lost in that exchange. Now let's see what happened to Austin Scott, because he and Sylvia Cunningham got beached into the gravel trap, and I wonder if it had something to do with this. Okay, there's these two. Oh, that looks like one of the Toyotas. I think that might have been, who was that? That was Gitteroth. Gitteroth was the one who hooked Austin Scott. Can't see it from this angle. Let's go helicopter view. Okay, here's a good angle. Yeah, 3 wide. Scott got into Gitteroth, who turns into Sylvia Cunningham. That's what sent Sylvia into the gravel. And Austin Scott also spun himself into the gravel trap. So there you see it. So that's a shame for Austin Scott. He came this race 36 on the points. Sylvia Cunningham was top 10 in the points coming in this race. This was definitely not the result she needed. Now let's see what brought out the first caution of the day here at the Glen. And this is what happened here. This is what brought out the yellow. This is going into turn 6. We're looking at the helicopter view because this will give us a good angle of how this got started. I think pay attention to the 41, or no, looks like Colby got loose. And then he gets hooked by Summit Ozkan. Took both cars into the guardrail. I think that was Ekstrom. Yes, it was. Ekstrom bounced off of, who was that to her right side? That was Austin LaGrange. So that would explain what happened to the 44. He just got loose. Nothing Ozkan did, just a simple racing deal, if you ask me. So that's what brought out the caution for the first time today, and what also got the incidents that did not bring out a yellow. Let's get to the restart here at the Glen. All right, lights are out on the pace car as they're on the back straightaway, heading for the inner loop. We're going to go back to green on lap number 4 of 14. That caution, by the way, was a big break for Austin Scott and Sylvia Cunningham, because they had to teleport to pit road after getting stuck in the sand trap. Thankfully, that caution was a big saving grace for those drivers, and they managed to stay on the lead lap just like that. Top 10 as we go back to green. Quinton Moore's the leader. Christopher Bright second. Loopy Contreras is third. Jacob Foster fourth, with Shane Scott in fifth. Aaron Crowder is sixth. UCSL seventh. Ellie Rose is eighth. Tyson Aquino is ninth. And Rogel Dorn is in the 10th position. As I got a text from somebody. I just got free tickets. My house manager just got me free tickets to a Comets game as I'm recording this. Whoop whoop. So I'm definitely going to be going to that one. By the way, Rogel Dorn was third in the standings coming into this race, and we already have a car out of the race. That would be Cole Koibe. Looks like the front end damage was too much as it damaged the radiator, and they unfortunately had to push his car back behind the wall and out of the race. So he will be the first retirement of this race. That's a tough break for Cole Koibe, one of Connor Breton's drivers. He dropped 6 spots down to 37th in the points. He's going to continue to drop through the standings. He'll probably end up 41st when this is over. Let's see where the points leader is at. The 7 of L Bianchi. He's running in 20th. Came this race as the points leader. Z Panini is 15th. He is second in points coming into this race. Those two are separated by 16 points. As we're going to go back to green, remember all road courses are single file restarts, so keep that in mind for these drivers as far as that's concerned. Green flags back in the air here at the Glen. I have done a race at Lime Rock with these cars, the NXS 20 cars, and it produces some good racing, so don't get me wrong. Jacob Foster in third. Remember, he was the one that made it 3 wide, which 3 wide on a road course is not a good idea, especially when you're going through the S's. Probably his crew chief told him to be a little careful on the aggression, if you know what I mean. Oh no, there goes Bianchi. Bianchi's around. Connor Breton's in the sand trap. And has that brought out the caution? The answer is no. That will mean Connor Breton's going to teleport to pit road, but the points leader, Lucian Bianchi, in trouble at the Glen. The only thing that could save Bianchi would be a caution, as we have completed a green flag lap as we're down to 10 laps to go already in this race. And there's the Brandt Chevrolet and the Dude Wipe Chevrolet of Connor Breton. Stupid phone, I didn't ask you to do the microphone. Connor Breton was 10th in points, but the points leader, Bianchi, in trouble. That's good news for the guy who's trying to run down Lucian Bianchi for the points lead. Last week's winner, Zachy Panini. There he is. But he's running in 18th position. He came in straight second in points. There's L Dorn. He's 3 wide with that is a cell, and that was the 92 of Tyson Aquino. Chaos has erupted here at the Glen. And we're about to be at the midway point of today's race. That's Connor Breton and somebody's coming to pit road. I was going to get ready to finish that's Matt Gomes who's coming to pit road. So something is up with the Dead Tools Ford Mustang Dark Horse out of AM Racing. I was just about to get ready. He got a stop and go penalty. I wonder what this is all about. Wonder if he passed somebody before the line. Let's see. Let me go back to the Yes, he did. Yes, he did. As you look at the replay. Yep. He passed Daniel Gitteroff. That's why he came to pit road for a stop and go penalty. So that probably would answer why he came to pit road. He is still in the lead lap, but now he's in trouble. I was going to say Lucian Bianchi and Connor Breton are now 1 lap down in the 39th and the 40th position. So that pretty much just sums up Matt Gomes' season, if you ask me. 38th in the points, having a miserable season. As Connor Breton, I just realized he's got some damage to the rear end on machine, and he's coming back out on the track. Careful, guys. And same with Bianchi. This is not what Lucian Bianchi wanted, especially this is a road course, and he would excel really well on a road course. As Q-Man going through the inner loop, being careful and cautious. Jacob Foster right now in second. Connor Breton's right in between Foster and Christopher Bright in that number 8 machine. Christopher Bright gained 5 spots up to 11th in the points. And as things stand, this could help him get himself into the top 10 of the points with the troubles that we've seen here today with a couple of drivers running very well in the standings. As Harold Farkesco is at the rear of the field for Viking Motorsports. There's Mohammed Zain. Shane Scott's got some rear end damage on his machine. That's probably from the first lap incident with him and Sylvia Cunningham. Speaking of Sylvia, there she is. Emberly Marsh in the 27. She's also back here at the rear of the field, just past the halfway point here in this race. She came in this race ninth in the standings. That's B Clements in the 51. He's another driver that came in this race running well in points. He's really going to take a hit in the standings. Same with J Isley, our winner from Daytona. He came in this race 13th in points. He dropped 5 spots after last week's race at Sonoma. There's Austin LaGrange passing Dylan Cunningham, as Cunningham is not having the best of days, not having the best of seasons. Dropped 2 spots down to 23rd in the points table. There's Summit Hoskins. He's got some left side damage on the Menards Toyota. Zachary Fitzwater. Josh Harmon in the 07. Larry Hoyt in the 31. Matt Gumbs all by himself. He is the last car running, as we already have 2 cars already a lap down in this race. Let's talk about our motorsports calendar coming up for what we got race wise. Of course, we're already in the summer months. Today being Tuesday for the M&M's Cup Series here at Sonoma. We head back to the West Coast. We will see the Oreo Cup Series drivers tomorrow as they go racing at Auto Club. Before that, Red Bull GT Series got done racing at Sweden. And then Winston Cup is off this weekend and next weekend as we head to Memphis Motorsports Park for the Trucks and Busch Series races coming your way from Memphis. Hope you'll tune in for that. Even though Memphis is no longer in real life anymore, I'm still going to do those races as far as that is concerned. Next week, Red Bull GT Series will head to Wales. These drivers will head to Lime Rock. That'll be another Tuesday race, another 4 o'clock Eastern Standard, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's do that. Regular season finale for the Oreo Cup Series to determine the 16 drivers battling for the playoffs. Looks like Josh Harmon's going to make the playoffs in that series, as we're down to 4 to go in this race, 3 laps to go next time by. And then we have Craftsman Trucks and Busch Series coming your way from Milwaukee before we head to the following week. We'll be going to Michigan for the M&M's Cup Series. Before that, Red Bull GT Series will wrap up their European tour at Champs-Élysées, a track that I've raced at before in the past in other series. Champs-Élysées, one of my favorite tracks. We'll have Gargle home qualifying, and listen to the time, 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll have the 9th race at Champs-Élysées. Note the time change because it is in the morning. These drivers will be at Michigan after we go to Lime Rock next week, as we're down to 3 laps to go in this race. And then we begin the playoffs for the Oreo Cup Series at Darlington, before we have Craftsman Trucks, Busch, and the Winston Cup Series drivers back at the Kentucky Speedway. Note, it's a night race. It'll be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I don't have anything planned for Sunday, so there you go. So those are the races coming up on your motorsports calendar. Going to be interesting to see how, with some of these drivers that ran in the Oreo Cup Series as well as the Buffalo Wild Wings Series back in the day, how these Xfinity cars, these NXS 20 cars will perform at Lime Rock. I know Quentin Moore would attest to that. Connor Breton, by the way, not for position. He has one lap down in 39 because remember he got into the gravel trap with the points leader Lucci and Bianchi, who will definitely lose the points lead after today. Matt Gomes all by himself. Casey Hoyt had a great qualifying. That's going to go all down to waste. I can tell you the points are really going to be shaken up after today's race. Quentin Moore, by the way, has led every lap in this race, I should point out. Of course, Quentin Moore is going to make the Oreo Cup Series playoffs. He's so far high up in the standings, it's impossible for Quentin Moore to fall outside the top 30 in points over an Oreo. As we're coming to the white flag, remember, if the leader takes the white flag, next flag will end a race. And does the 2 have a problem? Jacob Foster? Yes, he does. Ah, no! Jacob Foster was about to finish second at this rate, and he's got problems. Ah, no! What a shame for Jacob Foster. Okay, be careful getting the pit road. Ah, that's got to be gut-wrenching as the white flag is out for Quentin Moore. But that's got to be gut-wrenching for Jacob Foster. Looks like Bianchi and Breton did lose another lap. So it looks like Ellie Rose came to pit road. So, oh boy. Not good for the RCR lads. Oh no, she blew up. Ellie Rose blew up. What a disaster for RCR. And Ellie Rose is not going to finish this race, unfortunately. So Ellie Rose is out of the race. Jacob Foster's going to be finishing pretty poorly. That's a shame. But here comes Ryan Sieg Racing and Quentin Moore. Started on the pole, led every lap, and the only caution we've had in this race, I'm surprised that was not a caution, to be honest with you, with the Ellie Rose blown up. And Quentin Moore is going to win the Zippa 200 at the Glen. What a win for Quentin Moore. Wonderful bounce back after his problems in the as far as his problems were concerned last week at Sonoma. This will no doubtably get him up through the points table. Of course, he came in this race 26 in points. He led the most laps. He started on pole, so he went from pole to victory as he takes his first win on the season here in the M&M's Cup Series. Standings are official. L Contreras will get second. Great run for him. Loopy came into this race 15th in the points. This could put him possibly inside the top 10 in the standings leaving today. Christopher Bright is going to be in the top 10 in the standings after a number of drivers really struggled today. He comes away in third. Good run for Christopher Bright. Aaron Crowder dropped 3 spots down to 14th in the standings. This could possibly put him back into the top 10 in the standings with a solid fourth. Shane Scott, 2-time winner this season, 16th in the points. He'll jump up inside the top 15, maybe top 10. UCSL, a well-needed run for him. Came in this race 27th in the points. He's been climbing through the points the last couple of weeks with a solid 6th place result. Tyson Aquino gets 7th. He was 30th in the standings, so a nice bounce-back run for him. Ayrton De Silva, who gained 5 spots up to 31st in the standings, he'll come away with 8th. Larry Hoyt will get 9th. Wonderful run for Larry Hoyt. And Larry came in this race 4th in the points. He was one of the drivers that was also trying to run down Lucian Bianchi for the points lead. This will keep him in the top 10 in the standings leaving today. And Skylar Taylor will complete the top 10. Skylar came into this race 18th in the points. This could put her in the top 15, if not the top 10, leaving today's race. Rogel Dorn third in points. Got 11 Tori Gossett, JP Latero, Josh Harmon, and Maxie Chilton. Good run for Josh Harmon as he gets ready for the playoffs as far as that is concerned. Zachy Panini came home in 18th. He was second in points coming into this race. What was the gap between Dorn and Panini? It was 4 points. Dorn ended up finishing 7 spots, so Dorn's overtaken Panini as far as that is concerned. As you look on down to the remainder of the finishing results, a lot of drivers who came in running well in points are going to take hits in the standings. I can guarantee you that. Lucian Bianchi is going to lose the points lead. He and Connor Breton were 2 laps down as they spun into the gravel trap on the back straightaway in the inner loop, never recovered. Never got that caution they were hoping for. Jacob Foster, not entirely sure what was the issue on the number 2, as he was on his way to finish second. He's going to end up in 37th. Ouch. Ellie Rose, not entirely sure what let go on her Chevrolet. That's a tough break for her. So RCR imploded in these last few laps in the closing stages. Jacob Foster was the last car to finish on the lead lap. Matt Gomes got that penalty, never recovered, 36 for him. Ellie Rose did not complete this race because of a mechanical failure. Connor Breton and Lucian Bianchi also finished 2 laps down, and the only driver who also did not reach the conclusion of this race besides Ellie Rose was Cole Coybe on our only caution of the race that put him back behind the wall. I can tell you the points are really going to be shaken up as far as that is concerned. The question is, has Dorn, I believe Rogel Dorn is going to take the points lead, as Captain Frank's going to keep the points lead again. This time Rogel Dorn's going to be the one who will take the points lead as far as that's concerned. This copyrighted broadcast, by the way, is presented by the authority of the World Racing Association, the Blue Hedgehog TV, for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction or rebroadcast or retransmitted or any other disseminations or the use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the World Racing Association, the Blue Hedgehog TV is prohibited. Blue Hedgehog TV and the World Racing Association want to thank you fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast. Hope you enjoyed today's race from the Glen. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the World Racing Association crew today. Congratulations to Quentin Moore on his first win of the year. We've shown you your full finisher results. Your point standings are down in the description heading into next week at Lime Rock Park. Until then, I've been D Devold signing off. We'll see you guys for the Oreo Cup Series race tomorrow. You've been watching another broadcast courtesy of the World Racing Association, the greatest racing since 2013.